everyone, welcome to another video of mine. So today we will be going on a walk along Little Bourke Street in Melbourne Central Business District. So Little Bourke Street is a street that cuts along the grid of Melbourne Central Business District. It's narrow, bustling and often overlooked in favor of its bigger, bolder sibling, which is Bourke Street. And I have done a video on Bourke Street a while ago, so please do check it out as well. I greatly appreciate it. So let us spend some time here and you will uncover a microcosm of Melbourne's entire history, from its gold rush beginnings to a contemporary role as the beating heart of Chinatown district in Melbourne. So there are actually quite a lot of good restaurants, etc. in Chinatown, and there is also a museum. I have not been to the museum as yet, but I have been to the restaurants in Chinatown, which are really good. I haven't been there for a while, but if you are ever visiting in Melbourne, please come and see Chinatown. So Little Bourke Street runs east to west, parallel to Bourke Street, and lies just one block north of Bourke Street. Like many streets in Melbourne, it was part of the famous hotel grid, which was laid out in the year 1837 by surveyor Robert Hotel. The grid was revolutionary for its time, a plan designed to be logical, walkable and prepared for growth. Little Bourke Street was never meant to be a main thoroughfare. It's pretty much as the same as Little Collins and Flinders Lane and all the other videos we'll be doing on Little Lonsdale. So it's mainly like a back street. So it was what you might call a service lane, a narrow road providing rear access for the buildings of Bourke Street. And yet from these humble beginnings, Little Bourke Street became much more. In the mid-1800s, a lot of things changed. In the year 1851, gold was discovered in the state of Victoria. Melbourne's population exploded overnight. In just 10 years, the city swelled from about approximately 29,000 people to over 140,000 people. Little Bourke Street was once a quiet, laid-back lane, which found itself in the center of the chaos, commerce and rapid construction. This also began one of the street's most defining chapter, the immigration from China. Tens of thousands of Chinese immigrants arrived in Victoria during the gold rush. While many ventured inland to the gold fields, which were in the cities of Ballarat and Bendigo and many concentrated around there, Melbourne's Little Bourke Street became a hub for many Chinese, a cultural anchor of those seeking community in a foreign land. By the 1860s, Little Bourke Street had earned a new name, Chinatown. Coming up in a few minutes, Chinatown. So, honestly, I really would recommend visiting this place. So, that is the start of Chinatown, which is just across the road. And this also gives you a bit of background as well. Today's Melbourne Chinatown is centered along the Little Bourke Street between Swanston and Spring, and is one of the oldest continuous Chinese settlements in the Western world, other than San Francisco's famous Chinatown. The Chinese community unfortunately faced a lot of discrimination from the government, which imposed a £10 landing tax on Chinese arrivals. Now, previously to the Australian dollar, Australia actually used pounds. I believe that Australian dollars were started in the year 1967 or 1966. But correct me if I'm wrong. So just to continue, Little Bourke Street became both a refuge and a battleground where the Chinese community could maintain traditions, build businesses and resist exclusion. There were a lot of herbalists, tea shops, noodle houses and plenty of other places as well. This was a community that was thriving and thriving against all odds. Continuing on, so Little Bourke Street has seen its share of hardship. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, fires were a constant threat. The cramped timber buildings of Chinatown were highly flammable, and multiple fires tore through the area, changing its physical landscape. By the Second World War, the street's fortune dipped even further. There were unfortunately some anti-Chinese sentiment, and many businesses struggled, and some buildings were condemned and while others were abandoned. And in the 1970s and 1980s, the leaders of Melbourne realized that they were sitting on a cultural treasure. The city of Melbourne began reinvesting in Chinatown. Heritage buildings were restored, lanes were revitalized, and those now iconic red gates, which you saw a bit earlier, were erected at the ends of Little Bourke Street, formally marking Chinatown's precinct. New generations of Chinese Australians, along with migrants from Vietnam, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and mainland China, gave a fresh vibrancy. There was a restaurant called Flower Drum, which opened in the year 1975, which helped establish Chinatown as a world-class culinary destination. As you can see, there's many lanterns as well above. Today, you can move from dumpling houses to high-end Cantonese banquets, bubble tea shops, art galleries, karaoke bars, Asian supermarkets. So Little Bourke Street isn't just about the main strip. It's what makes it really special are its laneways, which there are quite a few, which I would highly recommend visiting. This include Celestial Avenue, Corrs Lane, Madame Russell's Lane, etc. These contrasts are what make Little Bourke Street feel alive. The ancient brushing shoulders with ultra-modern, with the sounds of walks sizzling next to the rumble of delivery trucks. It's where office workers on a lunch break mingle with tourists and families out for yum cha. I haven't had yum cha for a while, but I actually really do enjoy it. There was this nice restaurant here, but I don't remember the name of it, but I had some yum cha a few years ago, and I was really, really full by the end of it. I think I had a bit too much to eat that day, but the name just escapes me, unfortunately. I wish I could remember what it was, because that place was really, really good. Just had a lot of yum cha, and it wasn't too expensive as well. So I just went with a few friends of mine for lunch that day. So let's continue. So Little Bourke Street is a wonderful street. It is a street that represents Melbourne's multicultural soul. It's a space of constant negotiation between the development and preservation, old ways and new. So this is quite a nice place to visit. I would highly recommend at least visiting when you come to Melbourne. So, and this is actually one of my favorite streets to walk on. And it does take about half an hour, or just over half an hour to walk from one end of the street to the other. And that is for me approximately 3,000 steps. I do walk a bit slowly at times, especially when it's a bit farther away or long, so I don't walk too fast, but I do walk fast if I want to. So I did, for this particular walk, I average around 3,000 steps, depending on the type of video I'm doing. For this particular day, I think I did close to 18,000 steps, or 17,900. And I actually do enjoy walking. And because of keeps me calm, etc., and helps a lot. I do walking meditations as well, like by myself, and I feel like when I go walking after dinner, etc., there is a park nearby that I walk and just do like a walking meditation, which actually does help a lot. So it helps me relax, especially after a long day, which I would highly recommend you can do if you prefer. I do it about just a walk around the park, which is Hudson Reserve, which I have done a video. I just go slowly. It takes me about 20 minutes to actually walk slowly around the park, and I just come home. I just don't walk like a typical speed, I just walk a bit slower. And I do go a bit like after dinner, so around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. There's not many people there, especially in winter time, so let's go for a walk. I hope that you're enjoying the video. I would highly recommend that you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please leave a like and a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. As we walk down the street, you'll see many of the gates, the Chinese style gates, which come to the entrance of the street from each intersection, each major intersection. So that's actually quite nice. It reminds me that we are actually in Chinatown. And there are quite a number of cafes as well, so I honestly would love to try one of the restaurants again. Just haven't been there for such a long time, like the restaurants again, for such a long time. I would like to go again. Just not sure when. The main thing is I actually don't work in the city anymore, so I mainly come here to shoot the videos or to meet some friends of mine in the city. But I do work out in the suburbs, so it's not too far from the city, but I don't come here every day like I used to. And Little Bourke Street, like other smaller streets in Melbourne, is actually one way. There's not enough room for two way. One direction. Speaking of one direction, that is actually quite a nice band, so I do like listening to the music. Even I just hope you're not too angry, not too surprised. Like listening to the music. Actually quite a nice band. Now we are coming up to David Jones and Maya, which are two department stores which are nearby to each other. The David Jones, the store is over, I believe, 2 or 3 stories. As well large department stores, as you can see. This is connecting to each side of the store. So that's David Jones. It's like a luxury department store, and they do have quite a lot of sales as well. As you can see, it is a luxury store. And this is another shopping center in Melbourne. So I'm planning on just doing a video on that. Just not sure when I'll do it. I hope that everyone's having a wonderful day. So please don't forget to like and comment and leave and subscribe if you haven't done so. So the North Face is actually another clothing store. I know quite a lot of people actually wear North Face. It's like a lot of jackets, etc. And this is another luxury department store called Maya, which is up there, just the bridge connecting the two separate sections of the shop. So that is inside Maya. It's a brief look inside. The store is actually quite nice. I have been in that shop quite often, and they do something called the Maya Christmas windows, which begins in December every year, and they have a different theme for each Christmas. So I did a short, I tried to do a short video last year, but I didn't. But this year in December, I will I will shoot a video, and it's on the Bourke Street Mall and the My Christmas windows. So that'll be in December when I actually do it. It won't be too long, but it'll be nice. So this is the postal lane. The general post office is just around here. What was the general post office? So just the name of the building. So this is Postal Lane, which is behind the former general post office. You see, the general post office has H&M and a few cafes as well. The post office has since moved out, but it's called the general post office building. On the left hand side of the video is the general post office, and you can see that here. And we have come on to Elizabeth Street, the intersection of Little Bourke and Elizabeth Street. We were at Swanson Street just a few minutes ago, and that is actually one of the busiest tram corridors in the world. So quite a number of trams actually go down the street, and it's a pedestrian only street as well, other than trams and a few other vehicles like cleaning, etc. I think Ben and Jerry's is somewhere here, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Honestly, I really like Ben and Jerry's, but so many calories in there. So, I do love the ice cream. I haven't had it for a while, but it's actually really nice. So if anyone is coming to Melbourne, please let me know. Please comment on one of my videos or send me a message on Instagram, and I can show you around if necessary, or if you would like. And let's see where that goes. If I'm not too busy that particular day, I'll show you around. I hope that you're liking the video so far. So this is actually quite a nice walk. Today is not that cold, but it was a little bit chilly, and actually did like the day as well. Actually, I had a coffee before, as I was saying earlier. Then I went and did some plane spotting. So please do consider subscribing to my other channel as well, my aviation channel. That is slowly growing as well. So please consider subscribing to both. Speaking of lanes, that's called Niagara Lane. That actually remind me of when I went to Niagara Falls a few years ago. Actually coming up to 3 years since I actually went to Niagara Falls, and went on the Canadian side in Toronto. And I believe that the US side wears blue, where the Canadian side wears red. And they have different names for the boats that where we can go on a ride. I just forgot the name of the boats. I think one is Made of the Mist, if I'm not mistaken, and I forgot the name of the other one, so please forgive me. But I actually did enjoy my trip to Canada. Went to Vancouver and Toronto. spent time with my family there. And I didn't go on quite a lot of tours as well. Went to Rocky Mountains, went to Whistler, and Vancouver is actually a really nice place as well. In Toronto, I was mainly just visiting families, so did a lot of touring as well. That's been in Niagara Falls, etc. Went around the city, and some of the Great Lakes area, which was really nice. And I did see not Detroit, it was another city, Buffalo, from across the lake as well, near Niagara Falls. So it was actually really nice. I didn't cross the bridge, but I just saw Buffalo from the other side, on the Canadian side. That was in 2022, around this time, that I went to the US and Canada. So I went to LA first, then I went to Las Vegas, then to Vancouver, and then to Toronto, and it was super busy. I think Toronto was actually the quietest, it was actually the most relaxing I had on holiday, and just spending time with family, which was more important, and just touring. So I didn't overexert myself in Toronto. Just was relaxing a lot more. So I'm not walking too particular fast on this video, so I hope you don't mind. So please do consider subscribing as well. See that while I was actually walking along all the streets that I've been doing recently, discovered so many good new cafes, etc. I think if I try one or two every day, it'll take a few years for me to actually try everyone out. Even if I have one for morning coffee, lunch, afternoon coffee or tea, and dinner, that's pretty much, if I can try 4 a day, it will take me pretty much forever to actually have food at every place. So let's see, maybe one, I don't know whether I'll actually do it, but I was actually thinking about it, but it seems a bit too much and spending a lot of money as well. As you can see, there are quite a lot of older buildings in this area, and I hope you don't mind me just walking in and out of some buildings, etc. undercover. That is the Mantra Hotel, which is on Little Bourke Street. I'm not very familiar with the Mantra Hotel, but I've heard some nice things. And I think that is the Supreme Court of Victoria, if I'm not mistaken. I should actually walk past here a lot. Actually, that is the Supreme Court of Victoria. So there are actually quite a nice cafes around this area as well. So please come and visit, and I actually should visit. Movida is actually quite a nice bar as well. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it as well, and it's highly recommended by friends and family that have actually been there. I'm also patiently waiting to go back to Vegas, just not yet. So looking forward to my next Vegas trip. I also want to go to Europe as well, and also back to Japan. There's so many different places in such a short amount of time. It's hard to decide where to go to, and hard to decide where to travel and which places to visit. So many places, and I can only get limited amount of leave a year. So, which is about, I can only get 4 weeks leave a year. So, I have to decide carefully and plan it over several years to see like trips, where to go to, etc. Just patiently waiting across the road. It does take a few minutes to actually, for the light to turn green to cross. We just crossing William Street now, making our way towards King Street and making our way towards Spencer Street. I have done a video on William Street, please check that out, and also done the video on King Street and Spencer Street, so please check those videos out as well. I would greatly appreciate it. So you're making your way towards also Southern Cross Station, so I went from Southern Cross Station to Melbourne Airport where I did plane spotting. So it does take me quite a while to actually get to the airport to do plane spotting. I do take a packed lunch, which does safeguard a lot of money, as many of you of my viewers are aware that airport food is quite expensive. So I actually don't like I won't buy the food there unless I'm actually traveling overseas. That's when the holiday starts, is when you're at the airport. That's what I think anyway. So I do buy when I'm traveling, and I have bought a couple of times as well while I was plane spotting. And it does get quite expensive actually if I go once a week. So this is one of the parking building here. Park your car. I actually don't drive into the city, I take the public transport, so I'm not very familiar with the rates, etc. But it can be expensive to actually park, and so there is a high hourly rate. I'm just not exactly sure how much it is to actually park in the city, but it can be expensive. I know that there are people actually do that, park in the city and then go to work, etc. And there are quite a lot of people who do that. I hope that everyone's having a nice day today and a nice weekend. Well, I haven't been plane spotting for a while, but I will go. But I have actually, the last time I went plane spotting, I did shoot quite a lot of videos and shots, etc. Also planes taking off and landing. So please check that out. So I greatly appreciate it. Now we're coming up to King Street. Please check out that video as well. There are, on King Street, there are quite a number of clubs, etc. And the street does get quite busy late at night. So if you're into clubbing or going out to bars, I would highly recommend visiting King Street. So party into the early hours of the morning. I used to do that when I was younger, but I haven't done it for a while. There's an Indian restaurant. I actually haven't been there, so don't know much about that place. But there are quite a few good Indian restaurants in the city. One is called Flora, which is on Little Street, which is quite a nice place as well. I've been there on numerous occasions. So if you're coming to Melbourne, then I would recommend you go there. So we're coming up nearly to the end of the video. So if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button, and also please leave a like and a comment as well. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I will just leave with you with the rest of the video. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day.
Apa dia? You have to be ready.